Hello, I'm Ritz Blues, and this is Resident Evil 4 VR. I'll be doing a new game professional run with Roomscale glitches. It's a fairly unique category. As you can see, I've got a fairly large playing space here that I will be making plenty of use of during the run for a variety of purposes that help speed up the run excuse me, in VR. So let's get into some of the options as well as incentives. So our first incentive available is a bid war that is for the color of the laser sight. This run I will be using green. It's my preferred color in general, but we can also use cyan, blue, purple, pink, white, red, orange, and yellow. So we'll set it to green here. Another option that I'm willing to offer as an incentive is the Krauser knife fight QTE cutscene. In VR, we can turn off our QTE cutscenes and skip them, so that's kind of nice. But that also includes the infamous Krauser knife fight scene. And so I'm willing to offer this as an incentive that we can turn back on, specifically for that point, with the cutoff being at the end of Chapter 5-2 as soon as the bulldozer breaks through the wall. Finally, let's just make sure we have our comfort settings correct here. These are critical for the start of a run here. We want these to be set on first person and limited. Very important to set that back to limited. So first person, limited, good there. The final bid war that I will offer is the costume. The default costume is Leon's leather jacket and combat suit, Ashley's sweater and skirt, and then Ada's red dress, or the special costume, which I'll be doing in today's run, which is Leon's RPD costume, the club outfit for Ashley, and Ada's assignment Ada combat suit. We'll go ahead and get started, but I'm going to immediately restart the run, so we're not actually going to start the timer just yet. We timed this game on in-game timer, which can be viewed on Leon's watch here. You can see the real time here is 1:25 in the afternoon, but I've been playing for 2 minutes already, even though I just started the actual run. And that's because the VR version actually starts the timer as soon as you hear the phrase Resident Evil 4 at the title screen. So we're going to go back to the title screen with those options selected, and then we'll start the run. So I'm going to go ahead and get in position here. Reset my screen. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. So we have to do menuing first, and then we'll jump into the run. So, skip the cutscene. And immediately we're going to do a little trick called radio walking, where as long as we finish our radio call while I walk in my play space, Leon will actually be advanced forward in the world. So throughout the run, you're going to be seeing me do this kind of maneuver where I turn myself back and forth in my play space. Then I call that walk boosting. So radio boosting is basically walk boosting where you're not supposed to walk. Every time I successfully advance the full length of my play space here, it's the equivalent of shaving off 1 second from the run. So it's a little bit of a tricky technique because I have to both move in real life as well as negotiate what I'm looking at in-game. So it does get a little shaky at times, and I often will peer at the ground to orient myself because Quest offers the ability to see my play space long before I crash into it. So some differences with RE4, we have run and gun, very useful for shooting and moving at the same time. You're going to see that illustrated quite a bit throughout the run. The Pueblo Fight is a little bit different here in the respect that grenades are nerfed in VR. Their explosion effective radius is a lot smaller. So we're going to use them here in much the same way you would in a console run. But it will be a bit different how we use it. Hopefully we got enough with that. We did. It's unfortunate that one of those Ganados was able to follow me into the room.
Things happen.
Because it cost me a healing item to do that, but let's pop in. Alright, well, unfortunately, not a lot for props off the bat. That's okay, though. So, let's get that heal back up. There we go. Okay. So as for the money routing in the game, it's fairly similar to what you would see in consoles, a few differences. It is quite a bit easier to get money randomly during the run because we can look at boxes like that and not lose time. This time it was very, very generous and gave shotgun shells. Oh. Thank you, RNGesus. In addition to walk boosting forwards, a lot of times you'll see me moving backwards instead of turning. And that's simply because when I'm in a cutscene like this, I can back up. Or if I'm in a load transition between rooms, I can back up and keep the camera orientation the same while resetting my walk boost. So, and walking backwards is the reason why I have these green pads on the floor here. Enables me to have a little bit of feedback on my feet to let me know when I'm reaching the edge of my play space. That way we don't run into, come on, issues. When walking backwards. Every time we finish a chapter, I'll look to the left when I close out, so that the bell appears in front of me instead of to my side. So there's a QTE skip right there, a QTE cutscene that we don't see. So. So it works out that walk boosting is fairly similar in speed to Ditman. It makes it very useful for maneuvering quickly. Here's a great example of dual wielding. I can hold the puzzle piece in my left hand and a gun in the right hand, or both puzzle pieces, and solve this puzzle without ever having to open up the menu. Ah! My other hand didn't trigger properly. Oh well. I've never seen that happen before. Well, anyway, it normally makes that a little bit faster. So, here's another area of difference here. Doors. We don't kick them open in VR. It's actually faster just to open them by hand and push through. Alright, I don't need a healing item because I got one through pure luck. So we're just gonna advance our way through here. We can also reload on the move without losing any time, so reloading is only of concern in combat. So at the end of chapter 1-2 here, after this puzzle, we have a bit of a skip that we can do. Come on. There we go. I'm going to try and execute it here. Oh, too far. All right. If you do it right, you can get that door on the back swing and walk through it before it closes, allowing you to skip the chapter transition as well as this radio conversation. It also despawns all of the enemies in this room. Not that that's a problem. It's just a convenience and saves quite a bit of ammo. Alright. Ammo's looking good. I'm gonna grab this flash grenade for safety. Oh, I cannot turn down a gold egg. That's a freebie right there. That's nice. You don't see that every day, so we'll take those where we get them. A little extra handgun ammo, just for consistency's sake. Okay, so we're gonna keep that torch, grab the headdress, and move on.
Got a selection of good.
So we're gonna do our first sales interaction here. We're gonna sell these treasures that we've collected.
I'll buy it. Thank you.
We're gonna buy ourselves a rocket launcher, also known as a giant slayer, the boss killing weapon of the game. So we're gonna do a little glitch called cabin skip. So we actually don't need a couple of the grenades that you would normally pick up in the route. Flash grenades are still very important. But none of the grenades that we would pick up in the cabin for explosive purposes are useful. So we need to wait for the second guy to throw his axe before we jump across. If we jump too soon, he will not throw it and just hit us. That's something you'll see in New Game Plus runs in console with people learn that with Ditman glitches. If they go too fast, that guy will hit them. No luck in these barrels. Sometimes there's healing items, shotgun shells, ammo, money. Nothing today. It's okay. We got our gold egg. Another QTE. Now it's time to talk about the Chapter 1 boss, Del Lago. Del Lago is the monster of the lake. We're going to skip this grenade up ahead here that I normally would get, because we're doing cabin skip. We don't need it. So Del Lago normally takes upwards of 30 to 40 hits in VR because of the difference in console. Console, it's like 10 to 12, something like that. But if we switch our control scheme over to comfort mode, it lowers Del Lago's hit points back down to a manageable level. The downside of comfort, though, the counterbalance, is that you can't shoot while the boat is moving in comfort mode, but you can shoot in limited mode, and that's what we're going to use here. So we're going to move the boat while aiming, shooting, things like that. Okay, so we're going to switch our weapon here. We got a bunch of hits in there. We're going to pop these over a little bit here. That egg is causing a little bit of problems. Anyway, we're going to switch to comfort mode. Pop it over to comfort. And now it'll force Del Lago an early dive right here. And now we can shoot in comfort mode, and Del Lago's health will be a lot lower than it normally would be. Alright, and that is an excellent Del Lago fight. That's what you want to see right there. So moving on to Chapter 2. Night falls, and Leon is beginning to succumb to the effects of Las Plagas infection. Okay. So, it's nighttime, which means the Plagas get to come out to play. Okay. Once again, we don't need grenades because we're doing cabin skip. So I'm reminding myself this because it's a fairly recent route change for me. So we can skip that grenade. Eventually, we may find a use for those grenades, but unfortunately, I find that they just get in the way and clutter up inventory a little bit too much early on if we don't use them at the cabin. There we go. I'm just going to turn this away. Skip that cutscene. This way. Shoot that ring off of there. Drop a couple of granados. And there we go. Move right along. So free treasure doesn't really cost us anything but a couple of bullets to grab. We get a cutscene that we can't skip. And a radio call. We're coming up on our second boss fight here. El Gigante. Any of you familiar with Resident Evil 4 console speedrunning understand how this fight works from a speedrun perspective. So it's largely the same in VR. The difference being that the VR rocket launcher is a little bit more cumbersome when it comes to aiming. So don't blink. Good fight. For safety, actually, we don't need that because I have the gold egg, so I'm actually not going to need it at all. Handgun or shotgun shells are always welcome, though. Normally, I would grab a little extra healing for cabin safety, except we're not doing cabin, so it's amazing the little time save bonuses you get by not doing cabin or something. Alright, so we're at the church where Ashley's being held. The console's been moved from where it normally is to over here for some reason. I guess to make more use of the play space. Okay. So get our little phone call here. Ah, come on. There we go. Alright, so this is the end of chapter 2-1. Moving on to chapter 2-2. Where we get Ashley Graham, aka Sandy the Swirl. Same voice actress. And as annoying as it is to escort Ashley in console, it's worse in VR. And that is because even without walk boosting, Ashley runs super far behind us. Hey, extra shotgun shells, let's go. So we can continue to walk boost, but there's a small disadvantage to doing it with Ashley, and it's the fact that even though I move Leon faster, it does not move Ashley faster. it doesn't really save any time. It doesn't cost any, it just doesn't save any. And we made it. Okay. That sequence, very, very tricky. It actually, like, about 50-50 whether or not that actually works. This one's also kind of a tricky one. Okay. Drop down here, wait for Ashley. Ashley. Of course not. You would. Never perfect, right? Alright, flash grenades. Alright, cool. Come on, Ashley. Don't be scared. Good try. Oh, Ashley. Come on now. Alright. Oh, that's worse. Cool. You love to see it. Well, at that point, there's not to do but try it again. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. So, ideally, Ashley takes a wide berth around those ganados there. And there she goes, not taking said wide berth. Let's go. Me too. Let's go, 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 go. Of course not. Ashley, come on, girl. There we go. Jeepers. Ridiculous. So, I rest my case. Ashley, much harder to babysit in VR. Alright, cabin fight. So, this very inconsistent fight has had a lot of changes over the couple of years that the game has been out. But thankfully, we've found a nice little glitch that the community has finally accepted as being a viable glitch that we can use to basically skip the cabin. So I'm going to reorient my camera, because sometimes the game doesn't know where I'm positioned. We're going to go out of bounds here. Let's see. First time I do that, it usually doesn't work. So now that the visor knows I'm doing it, we turn it off and on again, and voila, we are floating in the air. So we're going to open that window there, walk across the room here. We're going to make our way down. Now we're outside, and now we are in bounds. But we're on the outside of the cabin. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a checkpoint by saving. This is the only time we're allowed to save in this game. So we do the cabin glitch save here, hit enter. Okay, a little bit behind pace, that's okay. Now we're going to reset checkpoint. Go to the last checkpoint. And now, the fight is over. The merchant's right there, the gates are in place. If we don't do that, these gates don't work. So, by using that save, also, maybe you guys will notice something here in a second. So, something's a little wrong here. I get the feeling I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, Ashley's gone. So, I'm gonna make our way up here. Definitely need that fire grenade. It is crucial. So we're going to make our way to the village chieftain fight now. Torres Mendez. Turn around here. While we're walking, we'll go ahead and swap to the grenade. And rearrange in there. There we go. We're going to pull out our shotgun and empty its rounds because we don't need it anymore. We're going to say goodbye to our trusty friend, the shotgun, and thank you for all the help that you have been so far. So normally we would have Ashley here fist pumping, so looking at the, sky assets there. Sky textures. Shout outs to those who know. So instead, we have a bit of an auto-scroller here, which is a good opportunity to, show off the fun things that Leon can do. Did you know Leon's a Jedi? You can do gangsta style. Do a little trick between each one. It's okay if you miss, because you still get the gun back. Southpaw. You can reload the manual way, which you can do, but doesn't make it a good thing. It's easier to just reload, pop it in, pull trigger. And so that's why we do it so fast or for fun during runs. So the cool thing about this segment is, since we don't have Ashley anymore because of the cabin skip, I can use walk boosts here, and it doesn't cost me any time. Sitting at 23 handgun rounds. I think I'm going to grab the handgun ammo on the way back out. We have our fire grenade equipped, so everything we need to fight Mendez is in place. Except for the actual fight. Wait a minute, where'd Ashley come from? No matter. Oh dear, that was timed wrong. Load, last checkpoint. Well, we've respawned Ashley, and that's okay, because she was going to come back anyway. Doesn't really make any difference. Try that again. Don't miss the second grenade, Ritz. Don't get too hasty with the grenades. You throw them too fast in that transition there, and he will not take damage. There we are. Turn.
Are you okay, Leon?
Are you okay, Leon? Yes, I am okay, Ashley. So this concludes Chapter 2 and gets us into the harder segments of the run, which is the castle segment. So normally, since we're backtracking, there's not much to do but talk. Normally what we would do is sell the shotgun and sell the pistol and purchase the TMP and the semi-automatic rifle. But in VR, we have a sidearm, and that makes the pistol incredibly useful because we don't have to switch to it. And even though it's not as effective as the TMP in most situations, it gets the job done and saves us time in menuing in VR, which menuing is unfortunately slow compared to console, because you actually have to physically move to do exactly what you're looking for, have to know what you're looking for in your inventory. Whereas in console, if you've got a very good grasp of your inventory, you can move your cursor and know exactly what you're looking for within 1 to 2 moves of the starting point. So, skip this cutscene, grab a little ammo, tell Ashley to wait. Pop a cap on our good friend Mr. Truck Driver here. Back up. Follow me. There we are. Alright. Just a little money here. That's okay. So, approaching the castle at the 25-minute mark. Not terrible. Not great either. So, moving on. Alright, so we're going to interact with the merchant, but also make our way out here.
Got some rare.
Sell some
What
stuff.
are you selling?
Now we can sell one heal.
Ah,
That up
I'll
there.
buy it at a high price.
Yeah, I'm going to sell that shotgun too.
Is that all, stranger?
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
we put our treasures here. Sell the bangle, the jewel. There we go. Now we are going to
What are you
purchase
buying?
a semi-auto
Is that
rifle.
all, stranger?
Right there. Move some items in preparation. And we're going to buy a rocket launcher.
Stranger.
Cool.
Come back any time.
Now we will equip our lovely new weapon here, our shiny new gun, and make sure our flashbangs are equipped. Cool. Alright, so off to the castle we go. So, put our rifle to use right away here. There we are. Never first time lucky. We're gonna pause this cutscene, then skip it, to give us a little extra time to skip it. And that gets Ashley right up here. Time to avoid getting hit. Now we're gonna shoot them barrels while we move. Come over here. Drop this guy. Fire the cannon! Alright. Lovely view of Ashley's face here. Come upstairs. Grab some goodies. Back downstairs. Go through the door. Turn around. Go through the door. Finish that. Alright, we don't need that. That's okay. We do want to stop them from touching Ashley, though. That's important. Okay. We reunite with Louis. He's probably none too happy about being ditched in a cabin back there. Sorry, Louis. Come here. Wait patiently. Worth the wait. All right. We have a checkpoint here. Another cutscene here. If we could skip this cutscene or make it past it without triggering it, we could save probably 20 minutes. All right, so moving on. We have plenty of ammo in a variety of places. We are going to have to toss that, unfortunately. Actually, I didn't need to, but that's okay. We got a key. So, you may be familiar with the console strats for this mini-boss here, the Garridor, what's called quick scoping. In VR, we do no scoping. There we go. Not the fastest possible VR kill, but quite effective. Get that lever, don't forget. Okay. So now we're coming up on the hardest fight in the game, arguably. We have the correct grenade here, so that's good. Okay. Hold it up. I'm just going to let this room explain itself. Can't use any of those. Come on, Ashley. Hey, we did it first try. Let's go. It's quite a challenging fight under normal circumstances, and we made that look easy. So we're going to load from our last checkpoint. We're going to reset our position with the camera, which was backwards, and we're going to do an airwalk here, but first we're going to get our camera set up. Okay, and we're going to do an airwalk right here. So pretty much anywhere you have a staircase in the game that's of any appreciable height, airwalking is possible. And just by interrupting the power supply very briefly to the game, it stops thinking just long enough to process that cross without stopping the movement at that height. So let's focus on this. There we are. So we are now airwalking, which means we don't have to commit any Fantastic. Column, save a little, get a little height there, grab this ammo if we can. Oh, we clipped back in bounds. Unfortunate. All right, let's lesson learned. Get a little. All right, well, at least we got it a second time in a row. So we're okay there. We want to get the right height here because too low and you'll catch on those stairs, too high and you can't reach the ammo. But now we can go just a little higher. This is a good height. And now you can see that Ashley is walking on water, or air above water. All right, we're gonna switch grenades here because this is absolutely critical for the next step. But first, we have to do yet another airwalk. So yeah, airwalking definitely breaks this game quite wide open. Hold Ashley here. Try this. Nope, not quite. Reposition. Adjust. Turn. Not quite. I think a little early there again. Perfect. There. So this saves about 90 seconds. We skip the entirety of the end of chapter 3-1 with the trap cutscene. We also skip Novi's 1 and the cultists in this room, which is quite nice. And now, move on to the gallery. We do need handgun ammo here. Alright, so for this segment, we have Ashley with us, and for the next few segments where you're not normally supposed to have Ashley, she is here. Oh, please don't. Ashley. Okay. Alright, well, that works out a little bit there. Okay, so we're going to set that red zealot on fire and not skip the cutscene. This is a trick you can use in console or PC as well. So, I'm going to let him grab Ashley. That's okay. Thanks for absorbing one hit, Ashley. 1, 2. That's okay, we need the space anyway. And a reason to come in here. 3, I think. 4. And did we get it? Yes, we did. Okay. So, bye, Ashley. Oh, wait, she's back. Pop his head off. Push that button. Come over here. Take your head off. I was close. Didn't have my gun. Boy, sometimes that guy likes to throw it and nail you, just snipe you from downstairs. We're gonna grab a little more handgun ammo because again we're low. And that's gallery with Ashley. You can clap. That's fun. That's new. Another unique feature of this route, we can get the broken butterfly right off the bat if we really want it. I don't believe there's any real reason to do it, because the Killer 7 is pretty much better right out the get-go, and we don't really have the inventory space to afford it right now. I don't know why I grabbed the incendiary grenade. Force of habit and no merchant, I guess. We don't actually need any more incendiary grenades for the entire rest of the game. So, next chance I get inventory-wise, I'm just going to trash it. So a fun little property of Ashley, when you pick her up at the church, there's a flag that despawns all dogs outside of the church, so the dogs don't hound you, but I'm cheating, while you are leaving the church with Ashley, because the Ganados are bad enough. That same flag, while she's in this room, I believe, that's my theory, is that also applies keeping the dogs from spawning in this garden. So we'll just do some walk boosts and a nice leisurely stroll through the garden here. We're going to do a little trick with Ashley here. Follow me. If you do it right, she's a doorstop. Yay! Good job, Ashley. Thank you for being useful. Say goodbye to Ada's thighs. And we finish chapter 3-2. So chapter 3-3, you may be familiar with this one as the cage fight. It's also the shortest fight in the game, or shortest chapter in the game if you do it right. On the downside, it's a little tricky. Because we have Ashley with us. So we're going to equip our explosive grenade. We need that. I'm going to trash this like I said I would. Everything else is in place. Let's reload. Smash and grab. Wait. Tell Ashley to wait. Swap. Escape. Get that open. I'm going to tell Ashley to follow. Shoot that guy so he doesn't shoot me, and leave the room. If I mess up any of that, I'm dead. So, dual wielding for the win. Because we have Ashley with us here, we can actually grab that rocket launcher early if we want. Which is kind of cool. It also means the shielders are not behind this door, so that actually makes this segment quite a bit easier than you do with without Ashley. Rest in peace, Lewis, and that's the end of 3-3. Alright, 3-4. Hey, Ashley's down there. I thought she was just with us. Well, whatever you're doing out there, Ashley, stop it. You're not doing anybody any favors. Pardon the mic bumps. Sniping is hard. Ashley, get moving. Alright, we throw the grenade at a very specific time here in order to ensure that this red zealot gets hit by the grenade and his friend, well, gets turned into pink mist. There we are. Nice. We got all the treasures. Very, very well done. And now we are Ashley. Hooray! Hi, guys. So Ashley also gets to do walk boosting just like Leon. You do this nice little puzzle in first person. There we go. Take our way over here. Now, if any of you have ever done this segment before, you know that there's a lot of twists and turns. So, luckily in VR, we can turn during these cutscenes and it remembers which way we were facing. So we can press the button, turn the body, and already be facing roughly the right direction we need to go in. So, do some walk boosting, have my flashlight out for the benefit of the viewer. Puzzle solved. We'll skip past these Armaduras here. And then we're going to do a little trick called QTE boosting, where we turn our back in the direction of where we want to go. And it, generally speaking, throws us in the direction we're supposed to go. Sometimes it doesn't work, like that second one. We'll skip this QTE by reaching forward. And so that's a really handy-dandy way to save some time. You don't really see that kind of boosting in console. Closest you can see with that, there's some QTE skips you can do in the Verdugo fight when you have Ditman. Speaking of Ditman, we're coming up on chapter 4-1, the first chapter that introduces us to the possibility of getting the striker. But first, we got to get through chapter 4-1. We're going to do a radio walk here.
Wait here.
Reset positioning. We're going to try an airwalk here. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we're going to give it a go. Aim high. There we are. So our rifle ammo is getting kind of low, but we're okay. Skip that. Okay. Grab that, turn around. We're going to do a little walk boost here. If we get it, great. If we don't, great. Nope, no luck. So we're just going to boost forward here and just catch the next cycle. Sometimes you luck out and you get the walk boost and you can go straight to the door. You get the air walk. Don't even have to go through the little maze there. Saves a little time, looks cool. Always worth one try. Not really worth doing anything more than that. Alright, so we reunite with Ashley. Because for some reason we don't want to take her with us, I guess. Now we're going to move on back to the main entrance to the castle. Hooray! And this will bring us back to this lovely mural right here. The Chimera wall. The bane of our existence. Alright, so moving on to the Chamber of Royalty segment. We have 2 puzzle chambers to go through here that will give us the grails for the King's Grail and the Queen's Grail.
Wait.
So we have Ashley on the tile there. If we don't get her in position there, we can do what I like to call backup strats, where you point your gun at her and then you back up. We can't shoot the red lights in here until we're in this segment. On console, you can actually snipe them from the door, and it is encouraged because your positioning is a little better for that. So we're gonna pop those 2. There we are. Okay, let's check our grenades here. We have 3 flashbangs. Good. It's what we need. I'm gonna skip that until a minute here. I don't think we need it, but actually we'll just skip it altogether. We're gonna do backup strats here and QTE boosting. And now we have to get the King's Grail and defend ourselves. Okay, grab, grab, grab. Whoop, grab. And that's the fight. I like how I grab my gun and ammo, but not what I'm looking for there. Alright, there we are. Nice even stack of 50 rounds. So, I'm going to grab another flashbang here. We're just going to use this one to get through here. The shielders are going to advance on their own. But we'll just run right past them here. That and leave the room. So now we gotta say goodbye to Ashley. Grab one last bit of handgun or rifle ammo or shotgun ammo. And now we have Novies too. Oh, wow. Immediately run into our friend here. Which is unfortunate. Oh, we're going the wrong way too. Two hits. There we go. Not ideal Novies 2, but we made it alive. Second half was a lot nicer than the first. Okay. We're coming up towards the latter half of 4-1 here with the clock tower. Not much to say about this segment. It's another good opportunity to throw to donations. We're talking about incentives, things like that. I'm just gonna run past these guys. Sneak in the door here before the catapults shoot. And then use our pistol. Shoot towards. Spare healing. I now recognize one place where a hand grenade would be very helpful. We're actually going to grab one. It costs me a small amount of time and greatly enhances safety here. And you. Duck down here. There we go. We're going to come in here. We're going to switch to that. Oh no, it despawned the grenade. Wow. Okay. I wouldn't have a problem with it, except that it makes this part a lot harder if I don't have that grenade. That's weird that sometimes grenades despawn and sometimes they don't. So while that rocket's in flight, we're going to swap out to our rifle one last time before we say goodbye to our friend the rifle. And now we say goodbye to the rifle, our trusted friend throughout most of the castle. Alright, so we landed down here. Die, you worm. We're gonna grab some goodies here.
Welcome. Got some rare things.
And now we sell the
selling.
rifle.
Ah, thank you. What are you buying?
I'm gonna buy the striker.
Is that all, stranger?
And not for the reason you might think.
Thank you. Stranger, stranger.
And we'll buy the rocket launcher. The striker is what enables the Ditman glitch, which I've mentioned several times during the run so far. This would be the point at which you'd start seeing runners in console run real fast. And it would also be the point where they make a lot of time save. Unfortunately, that requires using the striker by aiming it. And we don't have that luxury, unfortunately. Aiming is instantaneous in VR, which means Ditman's impossible. We're going to do, instead of the QTE skips here, we're going to do some QTE boosting and just walk backwards to our little friend here. I'm going to save a little bit of movement here before getting past here. Unfortunately, I did not get it right. That's okay. All right. Knock our friend over here. Step to the side. Boom. And shoot. Grab our goodie and leave. And that's the end of chapter 4-1. other than making our way to the very end. So yeah, pretty good first segment of the game, I'd say. The tail end is coming up here. Some very interesting tricks and skips that we're going to use. But now that we're done with Chapter 4-1, this is the point at which I like to take a break for hydration. So once we get to the elevator into the next segment, we're going to skip this and we're going to menu right here and take a break. This stops the in-game timer. I would be pretty much doing the exact same thing. If I were in a marathon setting, I would want to take a break here because I've been walking and talking for over an hour now. Well, almost an hour at least. And so I need a break. Hydration is important. Sweat off. And we'll go ahead and just get back in position over here. When we unpause, it does not matter where we're standing. The game will automatically recenter everything as soon as I close the menu in 3, 2, 1, go. That's the only thing we can use to stop the in-game timer. And we're only allowed to do it 5 minutes in an official run.
Got some rare things.
I'm gonna buy a rocket launcher here.
Stranger.
Pop it right there.
Now, come back.
So now we have our good friend Mr. Rocket Launcher here. We're going to use him to help us out here in this segment. To skip the boulder. In No Merchant, you can actually skip this boulder using a hover glitch called the boulder float glitch, or boulder skip. But we don't need that for this. Instead, we're going to do a little bit of a different variation on the double Gigante skip. Normally you would see runners use Ditman here. That's an unfortunate side effect of this. Load game. Last checkpoint. Try it again. We're going to swap grenades here in just a second. Because flash grenades work real great with this. But for whatever reason, hand grenades don't like to play nice. We actually don't need the hand grenade. Here we are. And as you can see, I am floating and I have my grenade back. So now that I'm floating, I'm out of bounds. We're going to airwalk over here, get to this height here, and we're going to cross to the middle of the room, cross in, hold to skip, walk over to the corner, and then these gentlemen are going to give me a little help to get me on the other side of the wall. Goodbye, golden egg. And that is how we skip double Gigante fight. And now we get our lovely revenge on these guys. Come on. So yeah, we've been accumulating a ton of shotgun shells throughout the run here, which is great because they're going to come in handy for the rest of the run. There we are. Over here. back out. Unfortunate that that timed the way it did, because now we have to wait one cycle. It's okay though. So we're going to do a little skip here. That's pretty cool. That is the masher skip, which you would normally see in the console run with Ditman. So that pretty much proves that that the walk boosting that we do is functionally similar to Ditman, because we can skip that lever and get good progress there. Chapter 4-3, in which we ride the minecart. It's another lovely level that has kind of an unassuming intro that has a very memorable segment at the end of it that we will be skipping. Boy, he almost got me. So, we're in the mines now, or the ruins. I'm gonna grab the key to get out of here. Be ready to shoot anyone who stands in our way. So for this segment, we're gonna pop these guys right here. Dodging them is actually kind of hard to do in VR. Flashbangs are slow. Plus, we want as many flashbangs for the end of the game as possible. Our health is good, so we're going to skip this. So this is the minecart skip. I want you to count how many times I cross the room, by the way. We're going to jump out of bounds here. There we go. So count how many times I cross, because we're going to be doing this a lot. So yeah, if you jump across the minecart at just the right time on that curve, there's our exit, by the way. If you jump across on that curve, Leon gets out of bounds. The game doesn't know where to put him, and so it just sets him on the ground on top of the rail cart tracks there. And we simply walk out of bounds. And now we are at the end segment of the minecart segment. And so this would be a great place to toss it to donations. There's not a whole lot to do here other than walk, go off, you know, Leon's knife throwing skills. But yeah, I think I calculated once on one of my early runs, I did, I think, 16 crosses before I... Oh, the count, I want you to stop counting as soon as I get to the medallion at the end of the segment here. Wrong way. Just lost time, but oh well. This is probably still faster than doing it the normal way. So yeah, fun fact, the minecart and the bulldozer vehicles in this game do not carry ammo items. And there's the count. So I didn't count because I was busy doing it. Hopefully you guys got a good count and enjoyed that. A fun little skip, good time to get my cardio. You can actually airwalk in this next area with the Salazar statue too, but we have yet to find a valuable use for it. So. Okay, moving on. Chapter 4-4, everyone's favorite, compensating for something. So, I'm gonna drop this guy. Crap. Now I have to think. No item in my healy spot, huh? That's fine. And we're dead. Cool. That's what I get for shooting the stupid lever at the wrong time. Good job, Ritz. We all love that room. Let's try that again without the dying horribly at the wrong spot. There we are. So, not the cleanest you can do, but acceptable. Clap your hands if you believe. Fly like a chicken. Thankfully, mercifully, the QTEs in this segment are much easier than in console. All right. Poor Salazar got a little cut on his hand. Let's play some Donkey Kong. So you can actually boost your way up here using the barrels if you want. Over here. Ah! That was close. Nope. Up we go. 2 shots for you. 2 shots for you. And now we shoot cultists and knock them down. Oh, Dean. Not perfect, but pretty clean elevator fight. At least we didn't take any damage other than dynamite on the way up. We don't need any more handgun ammo, which is good. So another trick that's coming up here that we can do, we can get a quick kill on Salazar here using the rocket launcher. But we have to shoot him exactly when the cutscene ends. Thankfully, you can aim during cutscenes in VR. Fun.
Welcome.
So we're gonna make sure we can purchase
Some rare thing. What are
this
you
lovely
buying?
rocket launcher here.
Stranger.
Rearrange what we have to do that.
Now that's a weapon.
Cancel out, equip it.
Back anytime.
There we go. So we're going to pull out our rocket launcher, aim high. Oh, aim a little too low there. So try it again. You got it. Second try, I'll take it. So that saves 4 shotgun shells and a little bit of time if you do it the first time. That saves almost no time if you fail it. Alright, so 103,000, we're going to need to sell that crown soon so we can get our Killer 7. Just the last mainstay weapon we're going to be using. We're also going to say farewell to our friend the pistol in about half a chapter or so. About a third of the chapter. Because we're going to be replacing it with a much harder hitting sidearm. So that's the end of chapter 4. Hello, Ada. Skip that. Move on to chapter 5, the island, everyone's favorite chapter in the game. Is it going to be in the remake? Yeah, probably. So, at this point, we're going to do a little in here for comfort and movement. We're going to set it to third person. We're going to do this little maneuver here. We'll use to put us out of bounds. This is Island Skip, and it only works with third-person transitions working. Even though first-person transitions are pretty much faster everywhere else. Not necessary to have switched to that, that's okay though. Actually, that's a really good opportunity to combine treasures. I'll have to remember that next run. Because we still have to combine treasures one more time. So, well, say goodbye, handgun. We're gonna go out with a bang here. Bang. Alright, so we're gonna come over here. We're gonna combine treasures one last time. You should never need to interact with our treasures after this purchase. Move up here.
Got some rare things.
Sell our handgun.
Is that all, stranger?
Sell the crown.
Ah.
So should not need to sell anything else.
What are you
I'm
buying?
gonna buy a Killer 7.
Is that all, stranger?
Which we need to make room for. Play a little Tetris. And of course, what purchase would not be complete without a rocket launcher.
Now that's a weapon.
There we go.
Come back, Eddie.
Combine our equipment now. I'm gonna put our sidearm on and move on. We need that rocket or that shotgun pretty much right away there. Otherwise, we get shot with an arrow. It's unfortunate. I don't think there's room for much more ammo. So, in a little bit, we are going to need one hand grenade. We're not going to grab that one. Did you hear something? I didn't hear anything. Oh, Ashley. Oh, you thought. So this room was one of the first VR-specific glitches that was ever discovered. It's the garage door skip. And it actually turns out that you can... I'm going to pause here for a second. Turns out you can do this skip kind of like Ditman. If you do it right, you get to the other side of the gate, no problem. Which is kind of cool. It involves menuing to get a couple of extra steps forward before you trigger the proximity sensor of the garage door. And by proximity sensor, I mean the jerk standing next to the lever, standing in your way. If you didn't know, that garage door is not like automated. There's just a guy peeking through a little window with a lever, pulling a prank on you. As soon as you get close, he throws the lever, and the only reason he ever comes out is if he's the only Ganato left. Alright. To the freezer. You can do the same skip here, but I don't. Just because it's extremely inconsistent and wastes time if you get it wrong. You get hit if you get it wrong. Well, time to make room. We absolutely need that grenade. Ooh, tricky. If he was Plagas, I would have been in deep trouble. So we can't grab that flash grenade over there to the side. That's okay. Alright. Almost at the end of chapter 5-1. We gotta go save Ashley on the other side of that door. But first we need the key. Interestingly enough, the reflexes of these guys is not great. So you can actually run past most of them. Skip that. And... oh God, it's all over my suit. Ugh. Gross. Actually, we're pushing the body there so that where he dies, he gets out of the way a little bit and gets him a little bit closer to the door. You know, the little things to try and save time. So we're gonna cook this grenade a little bit. Give it a heat. Don't need to kill any of these guys. Do need to shoot these guys. And that's the end of chapter 5-1. Alright, we're gonna reload checkpoint here. Now we're gonna grab this ammo, skip this cutscene, and it's time to escort Ashley through the base. Hooray! I know I enjoy this part, don't you? Cool. Come on, Ash. Let's move. skip that. Alright. Say hello to our friend Iron Maidens. We're going to try our best to avoid them as much as we can. Looks like that one's running a little slow. It's okay. Please, Ashley. Ashley, come on, man. Why you gotta do this to me? 1, 2, 3. Go, 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 go. Alright, we made it. Whew. Scary. Introducing the Killer 7. Oh, does not go through metal. Good to know. I did know that, I just missed it. Alright. So we're going to use a little glitch here to hold Ashley in place. There we go. We're going to basically use a backup strat here. Hold her in place. Come over here. It even works through glass. Keep our gun trained on her for a bit, and as long as I stand right here, those guys aren't going to see me. And they're not smart enough to figure out that that ball is associated with this part here. Moment here. Alright, come on, Ashley. Hold the skip. Come on over here. Say goodbye. Walk this way. That button back on up. All right, Ashley. Leave it to me. Well, I'm so glad there's a translator for her. It's so hard to understand her ordinary English.
Leave it to me, Leon.
We did it. Alright, so we have a little auto scroller here. Not much to say about it. I hope I don't fall out of the back. If I do, it'll be really interesting, but doesn't necessarily lose time. There is a possibility in VR that if you stand back here, that you will fall out of the back of the truck as it rounds a corner. It's fairly precise, it's fairly wonky, it's like a little frame pixel spot that just happens to do it. It's going to be right in about a second here. If it happens, it happens. So far, so good. Okay. Bye guys. It's nice knowing you. Hi. Turns out you can actually survive this whole little gauntlet from the backside of the truck, and even survive the explosion if you get in just the right spot. Alright. Gotta pop this guy here in the face real quick, so he doesn't bug Ashley. We're gonna drop down here, go to the ladder, and when this little cutscene's over, we'll be up the stairs. I didn't want to have to use the Magnum round, but sometimes you just have no choice. Alright, back on the truck. Pick off these guys before they drop down on us. All these spawns are pretty much set. I said stay in that room. That went very well. Alright. Good amount of Magnum rounds left. This would be the point at which we cut off the Krauser cutscene incentive. And find out whether or not it met its incentive or not. Zombie Rise. Leon learned how to do that in Resident Evil 2. Alright, so we're gonna make ourselves a little purchase here. We're gonna buy one last rocket launcher.
What are you buying? Stranger,
If we can.
stranger. Now that's a weapon.
Do 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 do. Alright.
What are you
Stupid handgun
selling?
ammo.
Is that all? Thank you. What are you buying? Stranger, stranger. Now that's a weapon.
There we are.
Come back, Eddie.
Alright, so we only need one more rocket launcher after this, which we can easily afford. Okay. I like how he throws it better, but I do a throwing motion and my knife doesn't go anywhere. So, Krauser knife cutscene is in the very next load transition room here on the other side of this door. But we're going to be skipping it for the run. Go ahead and take a quick check of the time. 1:26 is pretty good. Moving on. The laser puzzle here, Ditman would normally let you skip this. Unfortunately, we cannot do that in VR. It might be possible if you pause the cutscene before the lasers load and then skip it. Fun fact, I'm running on the 1.4 mode so that we can do these out-of-bounds glitches and things. In version 2 and 2.1, we don't have a lot of these out-of-bounds glitches, but you can duck under the laser. So I guess that's a consolation prize for people who run in fast forward. If you haven't played this game casually, like, it is worth like going through and enjoying the game casually. The Mercenaries mode is extremely fun. It's just as good as the original, and there's even more really fun gunplay to it. So I'm pretty positive that we have a rocket launcher. I'm gonna double check before we go through the door though. Yep. Which is good. Because we're coming up on it, also known as U3. He's kind of the bane of some of my early VR runs because there were some glitches I tried to do that are viable. You can do them, but they're really hard. And not really marathon safe. This panel right here, you can actually reach through those bars, but it's really far. You can barely do it if your physical body is like long enough to reach it. Ah, we're dead. No, we're not dead. Mercifully. Sometimes you can make it through there without getting caught. Unfortunately, I did get caught. Nope, that's a flash. We need you. Another reach through the bars moment there. Hold the lever crunk. Kick the grenade. Put it right there. Hey, secret passage. That's one of the glitches that 2.0 patches out, by the way. Okay, so we're just gonna run past you. Come back here. There is a slightly more direct route that gets you cut in half if you don't boost properly. So for safety, we'll lose about a half a second there and take the safe route. Good fight. We need the money. And we're gonna go ahead and switch to our shotgun here. Good amount of healing items. Not a great amount of healing items, but a good amount. So that's U3. It might be possible to float past the trigger. We don't know yet. Haven't found a good angle to get a air walk in that chamber, but if we do, that's another fight we don't have to do. Another rocket launcher we don't have to buy. There we go. Ah, good old red barrels. So we're coming up on the Krauser battle at this point. And during this sequence, we're going to be doing a couple of out-of-bounds skips to save time, and then, of course, the Krauser knife fight. So, go ahead and get a little boost here. See if we got it. We did not.
That's what I'm talking about. Good, Leon.
I'm going to try this a couple times here. See if we get it. Nope. One more time. Why are we turned around? We got it. All right. So now we're out of bounds. We're going to skip the next half of the Krauser battle there. Skip the staircase and just go straight to the piece. If you do this right the first time, it actually saves a pretty hefty chunk of time. Crouch down here. And grab that piece there.
Good, Leon. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
It's weird that it took 5 shots there, but whatever. All right. Part 2. Reset our orientation there. We're going to do another air walk here, if we can. And nope, did not get it. Hopefully we got it. Did not.
That's what
I'm going to give this 1 or 2 more tries. Reset orientation. Alright, we got it. So we just go through these bars, and they're not even here. That lets us skip the gauntlet and get straight to the Krauser fight.
Prepare for your death.
So we're gonna skip this little cutscene here. Pop over here. I got cheated. I got cheated. Not an ideal Krauser fight, but any Krauser fight you walk away from is better than dying, so we'll take it. Okay, so moving on. Ideally, we keep him in that first corner, and he doesn't block my hit with his shoulder or anything like that. Moving on. (5-4), the Gauntlet, in which we do one last airwalk and actually skip some of the harder bits of this.
Verifica la presión.
Flashbangs are equipped. Always want to check that before we get to this part. We're going to get hit there, but that's okay because we reload checkpoint. And the bad men go away. We skip the checkpoint. Shoot you. Flashbang. No luck. Empty? Totally empty? Wow. Cool. I guess we have to throw a flash at you. Nope, not quite. Okay. Again. Nope. Last flash. And then we're just gonna do this the normal way, I guess. If we get it. We got it. Always the last flash. Alright. So, assuming you get that out of bounds clip at the first try, you can get in this segment right here, out of bounds completely, and not have to worry about any of this lovely stuff here. Around the corner here, yeah, we get that annoying cutscene. And over here, that one. And we'll come back inbounds over here. Good enough. We made it through. Alright. So we will have to grab ammo in this next room. That's okay. Rest in peace, Mike. Unfortunate that you died the way you did. It is possible to do this next segment without magnum rounds, but it's much harder. Okay, penitentiary, we're going to get a little more ammo here. Essential ammo. Official ammo. Optional healing. But extremely safe healing. So, I'm going to come over here. Works for me. Oh, hello, JJ. Might have killed one too many. Back to table. Open the door, please. Alright, so we are back with Ashley. Hooray! We don't need any more healing because we didn't take any damage. Hit the button, and the chapter. Alright. 5-5, the final chapter. Where we say goodbye to the striker because it's no longer useful. And we make a new purchase.
Welcome. Got a selection of what are you buying? Stranger, stranger. Now that's a weapon. Come back.
We'll equip a rocket launcher. We got our exactly 2 magnum rounds. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess don't miss. Use this. Nope. Yeah, we were a little slow on the draw there, so fortunately we hit the QTE here. Say goodbye, Sadler. Goodbye, Sadler. Not a really good fight. Could have been better. Didn't miss, didn't get hit, so I'll take it. But that's pretty much the end of all the combat in the game. We just have the escape sequence now. which will take a look at our in-game time. Yeah. Walk over. 1 hour and 42. So go here and we'll reset our checkpoint. And then we'll out. So yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up with some shout outs here. Shout outs to the RE4 VR community, especially runners like Hippo, who have contributed a humongous amount of skips and glitches that you've seen today, plus any other runners. Hopefully I can leave out, but yeah, Hippo's body of work has been insane. So if you enjoyed this, hopefully I will see you guys at whatever event this may be featured at. I hope you enjoyed it. The time will be when we get to the RE4 screen and time. 1:43:35. That's a new personal best for me. I know that 1:40 is possible. Interestingly, the timer is actually still running for the purposes of the gold save point, but I like to stare at the screen for a little bit because this is the actual time that matters right here. So, but yeah, this has been Resident Evil 4 VR, New Game Pro, Gale. We'll go ahead and save it for posterity. Yep, there we go. Cool. All right. So let's see if my room knowledge is correct. You are right over here. So, yeah, that was a good run. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching.